you were with more than just she and I.
Wednesday.
She won't know what hit her.
It's a new season of Sistas.
Gary's being investigated by the FBI.
Get ready for a new era.
I want to freeze my eggs.
Secrets will be revealed.
I got a DNA test.
And they'll be challenged.
You knew what it was when you signed up. Deal with it or you move on.
Like never before.
You feel about this, Danny?
Oh, it's about to get dirty.
Cyber Perry Sistas, all new Wednesday at 9. Watch it.
Well, folks, I am shocked. I was not expecting this trailer to drop until, after next week's finale for season 6, because this is the promo for season 7 airing January 3rd. Man, it wouldn't surprise me if, let's say, on tomorrow, the 19th, they decide to drop the Oval season 5B, but, well, the trailer for that, I mean. But, just so you know, I wasn't able to get, like, an official video. This is somebody that got it from their television and posted online. It's gotten a lot of traction. You know how I do. I try to wait until I get the official video for good quality screenshots, but in this situation, fans were demanding me to do a breakdown immediately, so I had no choice. So, thankfully, I was able to get all the dialogue and try to put things together as best I can. But let me just say up front, this trailer has me thinking that Sistas Season 7 is going to give off a different tone, vibe, however you want to put it. The trailer alone has me thinking, dang, almost feels like a have and have nots if loving you is wrong kind of vibe here, as opposed to the mostly lighthearted stuff with a little drama sprinkled here and there. It looks like we're in for a Sistas unlike anything we've ever seen before up until this point in the show. So with that being said, we're going to break this down. The first thing I wanted to say here, the beginning of the promo, Andy is talking to Gary, Hayden's there beside him, and she's standing alongside Penelope and Fatima, and says, "We discovered that you were with more than just she and I," which is a no-brainer. So I guess either in this upcoming episode, episode 21, or in the season finale, Andy and Penelope sit down and go through all the details about everything, which might include Jasmine and some other women that, Gary was with. But this scene doesn't really line up with the rest of the trailer. Perhaps this is like the, last scene of the finale. Or, heck, how do we know it won't be like the first scene of season 7? And then after the opening credits, it's like 3 months later or something like that. But regardless, Gary looks dumbfounded, and then the rest of the trailer moving forward definitely seems like it takes place 6 months later. Now, holy crap. Okay, there's a lot to talk about here. And Gary is on the phone, probably talking with Hayden, saying she won't know what hit her. Now, if you notice in the background, we have a lady in pink, and it looks like she's overhearing the conversation. Now, at first, I'm like, okay, is this Andy? Is this Penelope? Is this another woman? But later in the trailer, we see Penelope looking like she discovered something on Gary's desk. And whatever it is, looks like maybe like a notebook or checkbook. And she looks surprised by that. And I feel like that goes in line with what Fatima tells Andy later in the trailer. She says, Gary's been being investigated by the FBI, and we see an enraged Gary take his laptop and slam it on his desk. Now, if I remember correctly, Penelope is allegedly supposed to be gone missing in this season, either because, let's say, whatever Penelope found, Gary didn't want her to find it, and he makes her disappear. Whether it be killed off or just vanished, who knows? Or maybe Penelope realizes what Gary's been getting into, and as a result, she's like, this is not a safe environment for me or my baby, I'm about to bounce. And then she's just gone. Now, I do remember another character who was like a colleague of Andy's, probably from college or something like that, and is like a private investigator or somebody who works for the government. And I think that Andy gets this person to kind of tell Gary, dig up some dirt on him to use as blackmail. And then I think that could lead to why the feds start to investigate, him. Now, in terms of Gary saying like she's not going to know what hit her, maybe that's him talking to Hayden because he's pissed off realizing Andy did something that led to the feds investigating him. Who knows? So from there, we see Gary just going off the deep end. It looks like Andy's on a date. Now, the actor of Jordan may not be in season 7. I think another actor's taking his place, because I do remember covering the news about Jordan's character bio for season 7. Yet I'm like, wait, if we got Jordan in season 6, why do we have another Jordan in season 7? That's because I think Jordan is being recast. And that guy that's hugged up with Andy walking down the sidewalk as Gary watches with a gun in his hand, I believe is another character altogether. Now, it looks like he's on the phone. Hayden's like, you sure about this, Gary? Gary's like, oh, it's about to get dirty. So then, if we are to assume that the person who is, based on the footwear, as a male, is shot, does that mean Gary shoots and potentially kills Jordan? That would be wild. And that could explain why Andy and Gary have their wedding planning thing going on in season 7. Penelope's gone missing. Jordan seemingly got killed off. Some people are speculating the man is Hayden, maybe because messing with Tamara, Madam caught up with him and had him killed. But I'm thinking something else could be going on. Gary wouldn't have that gun in his hand watching Andy and Jordan strolling down the sidewalk unless he intended to fire it. Whew, okay. So from there, let's talk about Karen, because there are a few scenes to talk about with her. First of all, she's having a grand opening, which I believe is episode 3, grand opening and grand closings. Looks like she's having a ribbon cutting ceremony for her new salon. So it looks like Brian's building offer was legit. We got Karen with the scissors, and we got Andy, Sabrina, and I think Maurice standing beside her. I think. Then on the other side, we got Danni, Pam, and we don't see the other person. We just see some hands clapping. Some people speculate Fatima, but I don't know. We just know that her friends are there, and it's a happy moment for her. Now, another moment that fans are talking about. Karen shows up to Zach's door. She's looking, you could debate kind of happy, but she does say to Zach, I got a DNA test. So it looks like we're going to get a definitive answer for the baby. But the thing is, the fact that she's going over there saying, I got a DNA test, makes me wonder, did Zach, put up his DNA for the test? Because if not, I don't want to hear it. Not to mention, she says, I got a DNA test. How many times have we heard this before? Also, her saying this to him 3 months later kind of just derails all the mess we've been putting up with for like the past 3 seasons about DNA tests and Zach being the daddy. Hopefully this puts an end to this whole who's the baby daddy stuff once and for all. I've said it time and time again. At this point, I do not care who the baby daddy is. If it's Zach, if it's Aaron, if it's Rico or some other person, I just want this storyline to end. But to me, I'm not really that concerned about the scene where she's at Zach's door saying, I got a DNA test. The scene I'm looking at is when the doctor appears to be showing Karen a monitor. And then Karen just kind of looks up to the sky, mouth wide open, and then her head just falls back on the pillow because it looks like whatever the doctor shows or tells her is too much for her to bear. Now, if you ask me, this is just my speculation here. This could be one of 3 things. Option number 1, when the doctor, I guess is like doing that thing, what's it called, ultrasound, like detecting the baby, and then can show like the fetus or embryo or whatnot, or basically the parent or parents can get a first view of the growing baby on the monitor. Maybe Karen sees the baby, but it's babies, plural, not singular. Maybe the doctor's like, actually, there are 2 babies in there. Because remember, and when I say we, I mean a lot of fans, we've been speculating for years that, how do we know that Karen wasn't impregnated by both Zach and Aaron? You never know. Option number 2. She gets news that the baby's dead. I don't know. Maybe the DNA test proves that Zach is the father, but when she goes to the hospital for this checkup, it turns out she lost the baby. She can't handle it. Option 3. Well, maybe while she's laying in bed, she gets the news of who the baby daddy is. It isn't Zach, so then that leads to her going to him in person to tell him that you're not the daddy. Maybe that's it. Who knows? But aside from that, we got some more baby news because Sabrina is standing in a hospital waiting room looking at some brochures. It seems like that's what she's doing. But over at the penthouse, she's talking to Andy and Karen. Maybe Danny's there too. But she's saying, I want to freeze my eggs. Now, I do recall reading the character synopsis on either a doctor or someone, because I don't know if Rich is going to be the same love interest that Sabrina has in season 7. But basically, whoever the love interest is for Sabrina now doesn't want kids. So Sabrina, not sure of what to do in this scenario, feels like as a contingency plan, hey, I'm getting older. Let me put my eggs on ice. That way, if things don't work with me and this dude, I'll still have a way of having a baby. Or she just decides, I'll just put my eggs on ice because I want to be with this guy. It's like everything about him is perfect, but him not wanting kids is the thing that has me going, I don't know what to do. So from there, speaking of kids, Danni, we see her shocked as she, I believe, walks into Tony's office, and she's wearing a yellow dress, which I was kind of shocked to see her wear, because that definitely seems like something Sabrina would wear. But I don't know. She does seem to be like holding her dress together. So maybe she was like walking into the office to surprise Tony with sex in the office. Because just look at her face. It either could be that or the fact that, wait, you got 2 kids? Or something. Because we see a little boy, a little girl. Now, over at her desk at work, because it looks like Danni probably doesn't take up Tony on his offer to get her a different position at the airport, so she still stays in her same position, but it's a different hairdo, same outfit. Tony says, I believe this is what he says here. You know what it was when you signed up for this. Dealing with it is another problem. So it seems like maybe Tony did tell her about his children early on, but 3 months into their quote unquote relationship, maybe there are some things, because we do know Tony's ex-wife will make an appearance. So I don't know. Either way, it looks like Danni is at a crossroads of what to do with Tony. Now, I don't feel bad for her because she had a good man with Preston, and guess what? Let him go. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the trailer. I think the only thing left is a non-verbal scene where we have Zach, Zatima, and Andy surprised and all looking at each other confused. So that's about it. That's the trailer. Wednesday, 9 o'clock, aka January 3rd, we got season 7 of Sistas. Thanks to everyone who blew up my inbox about this trailer. There's been a lot of stuff going on in Tyler Perry news from various shows and whatnot. So trust and believe, a lot of videos are coming down the pipeline. Heck, I'm pretty sure that by the time we get to like Wednesday or Thursday, I'll have more videos based off this one trailer. I really want to see how this week's episode of Sister turns out, and then seeing the trailer for the finale, because perhaps adding that to this trailer itself will give me more to work with. So with that being said, please do me a favor, like and subscribe. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one.